Hi, welcome to Ramnath in Ganit Shala. So the topic for discussion today is simple interest. So now that we have started making money, now that I am a shopkeeper, right? And you remember I made some money by selling some articles. Now I have been selling a lot of articles, right? So with profit I have built a good income, and my success in the neighborhood everybody is talking about. So there was one friend who works in a bank nearby, right? So he came to me and he told me, why don't you invest your profit or your income into our bank? We'll give you interest, okay, per year, and that will also increase your income further, right? So then I asked him, how much interest do you give on the investment that I make, right? So he told me, we'll give you 8% interest on whatever amount you put in the bank. We'll give you 8% on that. All right. So then I said, okay, let me think about it. Let me start calculating. Okay. So if I invest, let's say if my principal is rupees 10,000, okay. If I invest 10,000 in the bank, he is willing to give me 8% interest, right? So interest is is 8% of principal, right? Whatever you invest, you will get 8% of that, right? So how much that would be? 8% of per annum, okay? So that is very important. 8% per annum. Per annum means per year on principal, okay. All right. Now if I invest 10,000 rupees, how much would it turn out to be? Okay, so interest would be 8% of 10,000. So from percentages chapter you would know that this is what it is, right? 8% of 10,000 is nothing but 8 by 100 to 10,000. So this gone, this gone, this gone, this gone is equal to rupees 800. Correct, no? So rupees 800 interest I get in 1 year for an investment of 10,000 that I make. All right. So what is this 8%? It is the rate of interest, rate denoted by R. Okay. 10,000 is the investment that I am making. It is the principal denoted as P. Okay. And if I keep the investment for 1 year, at the end of 1 year, I get 800 rupees. If I keep it for 2 years, I'll get 800. So interest in the second year, let's say if it is, this is the interest in the first year, okay, I1 is 800. Interest in the second year will again be rupees 800. Okay, if I keep the investment in the bank for the third year, at the end of third year, the interest I'll get is again 800 rupees. Same calculation, right? 8% of 10,000 in the first year, 8% of 10,000 in the second year, 8,000 of 10,000 in the third year. So at the end of 3 years, I would get an interest of 800 plus 800 plus 800. All right. So now straight away my total interest would be at the end of 3 years, okay, would be 8 by 100 into 10,000, right? This is the interest for 1 year. This is the interest for 1 year into 3. Basically 3 years, correct, no? Now what is 8? 8 is nothing but the rate of interest which he has already agreed to pay me, okay? At that rate the interest he is going to pay. So that is R. Let's say this is R into, what is this 10,000? That is the principal amount which I am going to invest in the bank, okay? And what is this 3? 3 is the time period, 3 years, right? 3 years in years. So T is in terms of years. So 3 years I am going to invest my money in the bank. So that is T, okay, and 100 as it is, right? So this is the formula for calculating the interest. Principal into rate of interest into time in years, how many years you are going to keep the money in the bank, right, by 100, okay. So that is how we calculate the interest. Now let me rub this off and let me use the formula to find out what is the total interest I'll get at the end of 3 years, okay. All right, so now the assumption here is you will get interest, okay, per annum. So at the end of 1 year you will get interest, okay. All right, now so let me just rewrite all this. So interest is 8% per annum, we know, right? Okay, so R was 8%, okay, T was 3 years, right? I agreed to invest my money in the bank for 3 years, okay. So interest is equal to P into R into T by 100 is P is 10,000, R is 8 and T is 3 by 100 is 100 into 8 into 3 is rupees 2400. So this is the interest I will get at the end of 3 years, and the amount I will get back is my original principal also I should get, no. So the final amount which I would get is principal plus interest is rupees 10,000 plus rupees 2400 is rupees 12,400. So that is the final amount you get in hand. All right. So this is what I finally concluded that I would be getting if I invest 10,000 in a bank which gives 8% interest on your investment, and if you keep the money in the bank for 3 years, right? So this interest of 2400, at the end of 1 year you will get 800 rupees, at the end of second year you will get another 800 rupees in your account, and at the end of third year you will get 800 rupees plus the principal amount of 10,000 would come back into your account, okay. So this is the overall scene. Let's solve some problems, okay, now that you know how this works, okay. All right, good. So we are going to solve problems now on simple interest based on, by taking a few problems from the standard textbook. We are going to solve about 9 problems overall. So let's see, okay, how it goes. We'll start with simpler ones and then we see if we can solve some complicated ones, okay. All right, okay. The very first problem, okay. Rohit borrowed rupees 24,000 at 7.5% interest per year, okay. So now that is the interest that he has to pay. If you borrow money from somebody, you give them the money that you borrowed plus you pay some interest, right, extra money. So that is 7.5% on what he borrowed. How much money will he pay at the end of 4 years to clear the debt, okay. So he has borrowed some money, that is 24,000 he has borrowed, and he has agreed to pay a interest of 7.5% per annum. Per year he will pay 7.5% of 24,000, and he returned this money after 4 years, right. So the question is how much money will he pay. So he will pay the interest on this, plus he will pay the principal. Okay, so let's solve this problem, the very first problem. All right, so principal in this case would be rupees 24,000. Rate of interest we already know is 7.5%, and time period is 4 years. Now it is straight away substitution, 7% per annum per year. Okay, per year, this is the interest that he has to pay to his friend or whoever from whom he borrowed. All right, so how much money will he pay at the end of 4 years, right? So now let's find out the interest. Interest payable at the end of 4 years would be I is equal to P into R into T by 100. Remember the formula? So do you know the principal? 24,000. Rate of interest 7.5%, correct, no? Time period 4 years by 100. This gone, this gone, this gone, this gone. Okay. So now this is nothing but 240 into 7.5, let me express it as 15 by 2 into 4, correct, no? 7.5 is nothing but 15 by 2. So 2 ones are 2 twos are. Okay. So now this is 240 into 30. I multiply these two guys, so that is 30 is 24 3s are 72 and 7,200. Okay, that is the interest, right? So now final amount payable by Rohit would be, he has to pay the principal. You have to give him 24,000 plus the interest which is payable plus 7,200. Is this nothing but rupees 31,200, right? So that is answer. You can write Rohit would pay rupees 31,200 at the end of 4 years. Okay, you can write your answer in one sentence to conclude your solution. Okay, so I hope this was pretty simple, just a mere substitution. You know principal, you know rate of interest, and you know the time period for which he is actually borrowing the money, and pretty straightforward, right? All right, so that's good. Let's move on to the second problem, right? I hope you understood this, and the problem is anyway at the bottom of the window, bottom of this particular screen. You will be able to read the problem, right? And also the source is mentioned. It's an acknowledgement that we are picking it up from some of the standard textbooks. Okay, all right, great. Okay, sounds good. Now the second problem. Okay, on what principal will the simple interest be rupees 7,008? Okay, simple interest is 7,008 in 6 years 3 months at 5% per annum or 5% per year. Okay, so basically principal I don't know, but I know that the simple interest would be 7,008 rupees. Time period is 6 years and 3 months. Okay, and rate of interest is 5%. So let's write down what we know. Okay, so second problem, P I don't know. Okay, interest is rupees 7,008. Always write down what you know first, right? It will help you think. Now time period is 6 years and 3 months. Now this can be a problem for few students. Now some students are going to probably take 6.3, right? 6 years and 3 months, which is incorrect. Okay, I'll tell you why. Now let's understand why. Okay, 1 year 12 months, correct? No, 1 year is 12 months. Okay, I need 3 months here. So I divide both sides by 4. Correct, no? So 1 by 4 years, 1/4 of a year is 3 months. So this is nothing but 6 years and 1/4 of a year, which is nothing but 6, 1 by 4 year. Remember all those old concepts that we learnt in the previous chapter, correct? 6 years plus 1/4 of a year is 6, 1 by 4 year. Okay, all right. So time is 6, 1 by 4 years. All right. Now time is done. Rate R is 5% per annum. Okay, this is good. So I believe I have everything to substitute in that formula, right? I is equal to P into R into T by 100. Okay. What is the interest? 7,008. What is the principal? I don't know. Rate is 5. T is, now this is nothing but 25 by 4. Correct, no? This is a mixed fraction and this is a improper one. So I just converted from one to another. I'll just write it here. Okay. 25 by 4. Okay. Can I write it as this 100? Correct, no? I hope you understood this. There is no problem. There should not be any problem in this, because I can also write it as P into R by 100 into T. Correct, no? So P into R by 100 into T, that is T. Okay. So this is pretty straightforward. 25 ones are 25 fours are. Okay. So this became P into 5 by 16 is equal to 7008. Implies P is equal to 7008 into 16 by 5. Okay. So what is that? Let's multiply. Okay. Or rather, let us multiply. Let's multiply 7008 into 16, 48, 4. Okay. 0, the 42. Okay. Is this correct? Right. 8007, 8, 12, 1, 2, 11. Okay. All right. So this is fine. 112128 by 5. All right. Let me multiply both numerator and denominator by 2. Okay. So 112128 into 2. 56 to 422. Okay. So this became 224256 by 10 is nothing but 22425.6. I hope you understood, right? Divide by 10, the decimal will shift one place to the left. Remember, when we were dividing by 10, we move the decimal one place to the left if it is 10. If you multiply, you add one more 0. Right, or you move the decimal to the right by one place. Okay. So this is the answer. So this is the principal. P is equal to 22,425 and 60 paise, or rupees 22,425.6, right. So that is the final answer. On what principle will the simple interest be this? So on the principle of 22,425.6, the simple interest would be this. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Okay. Let's move on to our third problem. What sum of money borrowed on 24th May will amount to rupees 10,210.20 on 17th October of the same year at 5% per annum simple interest. Okay. So we need to find out the principal, okay, which when lent to somebody would amount to 10,210 rupees 20 paise, the time period being from 24th May till 17th October. Okay. Now we need to find out how much that time is, alright, at a rate of 5% per annum. Okay. So let's write down what we know, and I think then it should be simple. Okay. Alright. Alright. So question number 3. We know the amount 10,210.2. Okay. Time period. Okay. What is the duration of this? What is the duration for which this money is borrowed or lent? Okay. So this is from 24th May to 17th October. Okay. So how many days in May? From May 25 to 30, January, February, March, April, May. So 31, right? 31 days in May. So we will start counting from 25, because if you lend somebody money on 24th, 25th is the first day, 26th would be the second day, right? Similarly, so this would be amount to 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 7 days. Okay. So 7 days here. June 1 to 30, there are 30 days. So 30 days here. Okay. July 1 to July 31, right? 31 days. August 1 to August 31 amounts to 31 days. September 1 to September 30, 30 days. And October 1 to 17, right? Because that is when the money is returned. So it amounts to 17 days. Now if you add all this, right, how many days? So 31 into 2, 62, 30 into 30, 30 plus 30, 60, and 17 plus 7, 24, right? So it is 6, 6 to 12, 146. So 146 days. Now rate of interest is is 5% per annum. So let's convert this days into years. Okay. So T is equal to 146 by 365, assuming there are 365 days, right? This is the, okay. Now this is how much? 73 twos are 73 twos are and 73 fives are, right? 73 into 2 is 146 and 73 into 5 is 365, right? So 2/5 of a year. So the amount was borrowed for 2/5 of a year. All right. So that is good. The main concept in this was this, how to calculate, right? I hope you understood. We did not count 24 because 24 you don't count, you count from the next day, right? Then one day would be over. 25th, one day would be over. 26th, 2 days would be over, right? By the end of May, that is 31st, 7 days would be over, and then if you just go on, right, this is how you would eventually get the number of days. Okay. All right. So that was the concept here. Let's substitute in our formulae and see. One more thing to write, 5% per annum. Okay, that's good. All right. Now principal, we don't know, right? So principal, we can put a question mark. We are supposed to find that out, right? Interest would be P into R into T by 100, is it not? Is equal to principal, I don't know. Okay. T is R is 5, T is 2 by 5, and this is 100. Okay, this is gone, this is gone. This is equal to P by 50 is the interest. Okay. Now amount is equal to principal plus interest, right? We already know what is the amount. 10,210.2 is equal to P plus interest is P by 50, is it not? Is nothing but 51P by 50, correct? So this is the answer here. Let me rub this out a little bit here, right? I'll rub this out, running out of space. Okay, so you can proceed further if you can. Don't wait for me to rub the board. All right, so I'm just writing this here. So 10,210.2 is equal to 51 by P, 51P by 50. Okay, multiply both sides by 50 by 51. So I hope you know the drill. 50 into 50 by 51. Same thing I multiply here, 50 by 51 to keep left hand side is equal to right hand side. This gone, this gone, this gone, this gone. Therefore, P is equal to 50 into 10,210.2 by 51. Okay. Now this is nothing but 51 ones are, 51 twos are, then 0, 0, is it 2? Is that the case? Let's divide and see. For people who don't know how to divide, I believe there may not be many who don't know, but still let me do it. Okay. So 51 twos are 102. Okay. 0. I bring this down 1. I can't do anything with this because 1 is less than 51. So 51 zeros are 51. 51 zeros are 0. Okay. So 1. I bring this guy down 0. 51 zeros are 0. Then I encounter a decimal. So I put a decimal here and I bring 2 here and 51 twos are. So this is 200.2 is 200.2 into 50, right? That is 202 into 5 is equal to 100010. Is it correct? Or I think I added one more 0 by mistake. So 10,010 rupees, right? So a principal of 10,010 rupees would amount to 10,210.2 in 146 days, the time period which was given, right, from 24th May to 17th of October, when borrowed at a rate of 5% per annum. Now that concludes. You can write down one liner answer saying that yes, the sum of the money borrowed was rupees 10,010 rupees. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so let's move on to our fourth problem. Okay. So you're familiar with money lenders, right? They lend you money and at the end, when you are returning them the money, you also have to pay interest, right? And they make a living on the interest that you pay them, right? So I think we have a similar scenario here. Let's quickly read the problem. Okay, sounds good. So let's read the problem, the fourth one. Ashok lent out rupees 7,000 at 6%, okay, and rupees 9,500 at 5%. Find his total income from interest in 3 years. So basically Ashok looks like he's a money lender, okay. So he is giving 7,000 rupees to somebody at 6% per annum and 9,500 at 5% per annum, okay. And in 3 years, how much income he would make out of the interest on these two lendings, okay. So let's figure it out. Let's write it down. Pretty simple, should not be difficult. So P P1, okay, let this be the first principal he is investing in, he is lending, okay. So it's kind of investment in somebody, you lend them money assuming you will make money out of it, right, as interest. So R1 is 6% and P2, right, the second principal is lending is 9,500 and rate is 5%, okay, and time period is 3 years for both, right, 3 years, and T2 is 3 years, right, pretty simple, no? Can you proceed from here? Just pause this video and move, okay, and try to finish it, okay, then we can compare our answers. So in this case, interest received will be P1 into R1 into T1 by 100 is 7,000 into 6 into 3 by 100. This gone. So 7 6 are 420 into 3, 420 into 3 is equal to rupees 1,260. Okay. Similarly, let's calculate this too. I2 is equal to P2 into R2 into T2 by 100. P2 is 9500 into 5 into 3 by 100. This gone. Okay. So this is 95 into 15. And that comes to 1425, is that correct? Rupees 1425. Okay. So let me rub this off. So total income in 3 years, income in 3 years is equal to I1 plus I2 is equal to rupees 1260 plus rupees 1425 is equal to rupees 2685, right. So answer, right, we can write down the answer as the total income from interest in 3 years is rupees 2685, right, pretty straightforward. Just use the formula. We need to use the formula twice here, okay. All right, sounds good. Okay, sounds good, children. Let's move on to our fifth problem, right. Now there are two people, okay, they invest some money and they get different interests, right. Eventually at the end, when their deposit or their investment matures, they get different sum as interest, right, or rather they get different interests on their investments, right, and there may be a difference, there will be a difference if the interest paid in the case of two people is different, there would definitely be some difference, right. Then let's figure that out, right. How do we find but the rate of interest in this case, right, when the difference in the interest paid to each one of them is given here, okay. All right. So P and Q invest rupees 36,000 and 25,000 respectively at the same rate of interest. So that's understood. If at the end of 4 years P gets 3,080 rupees more interest than Q, find the rate of interest. Now in this case, you know the principal, you know two principals, you know the time period is 4 years. What you don't know is the rate of interest. So let's figure that out, right. How we solve this problem, and yeah, should be pretty easy, okay. So let's say, so principal in the case of P, a guy named P, is rupees 36,000, okay, right, and principal in the case of Q is rupees 25,000. Okay, so no confusion here, everything is fine. Okay, good. The rate of interest is the same. Okay, and time period for which P invests his money is 4 years, and I guess the same thing for Q also, 4 years. Okay, sounds good. And if at the end of 4 years P gets 3080 rupees more interest than Q. Okay, all right. All right. So let R be, or rather R percent per annum be the rate of interest. Okay, in both the cases it is R percent, so that is fine. So interest earned by P is nothing but do you agree? Just the formula substitution. Okay, so principal into rate of interest into time period by 100. Okay, all right. So this is 36,000 into R into T is 4 years by 100. Gone. Okay, so that comes to 1440 R. Okay, I hope I have not made a mistake. 36 into 4 is 144, and then 10 is pending. Yeah, so similarly interest earned by Q is, tell me if this is something we don't understand, let me know. Okay, so this is 25,000 into R. I don't know what R is, but I'll just write it as R, and period is 4 years. Okay, and this is 100. Now this is pretty simple to multiply, it is 1000 R. Okay, now the problem says that P gets rupees 3080 rupees more than Q at the end of 4 years. Now at the end of 4 years what you will get is the interest, right? So we know that IQ, or rather IP minus IQ is equal to 3080 rupees. Okay, so implies, what is this? IP is, interest earned by P is nothing but 1440 R minus 1000 R is equal to 3080. Therefore 440 R is equal to 3080. Therefore R is equal to 3080 by 440, right? And this comes to, if you divide 4 sevens, so 44 into 7, 28, 29, 30, so 308, so 17. So therefore answer, the rate of interest at which all these transactions happened was 7%. Okay, 7% per annum was the, anyway you have written R, let R percent per annum be the rate of interest, right? So the rate of interest would be 7% per annum, right? You can write down a one-liner answer. Okay, good. So that's fine. Let's move on to the next problem. Okay, so in this case the unknown was rate of interest. Now in the next problem the unknown is the number of years or the time period or the time duration, okay, for which the amount was borrowed, I guess. Okay, something like that. Okay, so let's see, these are all very straightforward questions. Okay, just remember the formula, just understand the scenario, things should be easy. Okay, let's move on to the sixth one. Alright, let me change my marker. Okay, in how many years will rupees 870 amount to rupees 1044? Okay, the rate of interest being 2.5% per annum. So basically you invest 870 rupees, in some time it will become 1044. How will it become 1044? Because you will get some interest. The rate of interest being 2.5% per annum. Okay, so what is 870 here, right? 870 is the amount that you put. So that is principal is rupees 870. Final amount should become rupees 1044. Okay, rate of interest is 2.5%, which is same as 5/2, correct, no? Per annum. In 1 year, he will give you 2.5% on what you invest. Okay, good, right? So what is the time period T? Okay, so we know that amount is nothing but principal plus interest. We know what is the amount, 1044. We know the principal, it is 870 plus I. Can I say I is equal to 1044 minus 870, right? Can you subtract it? It becomes 4, and is it 174 or what? Yeah. So interest is rupees 174. Okay, you can do it in your working column, right? 4, 9, 14, 7, 1, 174. Okay, sounds good, right? So interest is 174. But we also know how to calculate the interest using the formula P into R into T by 100, correct, no? Therefore, I is what? 174, we just found out. Principal is 870 into rate of interest is 5/2, correct, no? Into T. T is I don't know, so I can write it this way, correct, no? Understood? I hope you understood this, because I can also write P by 100 into R into T, right? Don't be confused, just a rearrangement, okay? So this is what I did is, let's divide this gone, okay? 5 ones are 5 twos are, okay? So this is nothing but 8070 by 4, correct? Therefore, T is equal to 174 into 4 by 87, okay? So 87 ones are 87 twos are, T is equal to 8. So T is 8 years. You can write a one-liner saying that it would take 8 years for rupees 720 for rupees 872 amount to 144 10 for 1044, right, to 1044 rupees, okay, in this case. All right, sounds good. I hope there was no challenge here, just that this was a problem wherein T was unknown and we just found out the interest and we substituted this in the formula and things were pretty simple, right? All right, sounds good. Okay, sounds good. Let's move on to our next problem. Okay, all right, this also looks pretty straightforward. Let us see if you can solve. It would appear on your window anytime soon. Just read the problem. You can pause the video, you can solve it, and then you can resume and check. We can check your solutions together. All right, sounds good. Let's move on. This is the 7th problem. A sum amounts to rupees 2652 in 6 years at 5% per annum, simple interest. Okay, so there is some principal, I don't know, but in 6 years at 5% per annum it becomes 2652. So clearly 2652 is a amount. Okay, principal I don't know, 6 years is the time period T, and R is 5% per annum. Okay, now we need to find out the sum, okay, which was invested, that is P. Okay, and the term in which the same sum will double itself at the same rate of interest. Okay, so the sum should become twice. So if you are investing 100 rupees, it should become 200 rupees, right? So in that case, your principal should be equal to the interest, right? Only then your sum will be double. If I invest 5,000 today, I will get 10,000 only when my interest component also becomes 5,000, right? 5,000 principal, 5,000 interest, together it will become 10,000. So I invested 5,000, only then I will get 10,000 because my interest is also 5,000. We will come to that a little later. Let's start with the very first part, okay? Let's write down what we know. Seventh problem, okay? A sum amounts to rupees, so this is the amount, 2652. Just understand the language of the problem, read it multiple times and make up your mind as to what this is. Is this a principal, or is this the amount, or is this the interest, right? And once you start doing this, things will become just very simple, right? Alright, so enough of Gyan to you guys. Let's move on. T is 6 years and rate of interest is 5% per annum. Alright, sounds good. Now we need to find out the sum which was invested, right? So what is the principal in this case, right? So alright, so principal, let the principal be P, okay. Let me write it down. Let the initial sum be rupees P, okay. So this was the amount which was invested, right? So interest would become P into R into T by 100. P is P, R is 5 and T is 6 by 100, right, is 30p by 100, right? This gone is 3p by 10, okay. All right, now we already know amount is equal to principal plus interest. Principal is P and interest is 3p by 10 and amount is 2652, correct, no? So implies 2652 is equal to 13p plus 10, 13p by 10, I beg your pardon, 13p by 10. Do you understand why this is the case? I hope you understood from here, correct, no? When we add these two, we have to make the denominator as 10 and you just cannot make the denominator 10 without multiplying the same number with the numerator as well. So 10p by 10, then you can write it as it is, and 10p plus 3p becomes 13p, okay. Alright, so p is 2652 into 10 by 13, and now time to remember or recite your 13's table. 13 ones are 13, 13 twos are 26, right? Then 5 would come 0 and 4, I guess, and this is 2040. Okay, so that is the principal. Therefore, principal we know is 2040. All right, that is the first part of our problem. Okay, what about the second one? The time in which the same sum will double itself at the same rate of interest, right? So if this has to double itself, right, the interest has to be for P to double, interest earned should be rupees 20,2040. Okay, correct, no? Amount is, see, amount is P plus I. If amount earned becomes 2P, you invest P, some amount which is P, and your amount is double, what you get is 2P, implies you bring it here, I is equal to P. So interest should be equal to the principal, only then your final amount will become double of your initial investment, right? So for P to double, interest earned should be 2040. Okay, so let's substitute the values here, right? So time period, right, for how many years? So interest is 2040 Principal is 2040, rate of interest is 5% per annum, and time period we don't know. For the second, we have to find out how many years it would take for the sum to double, right? So this becomes T is equal to 2040 into 100 by 5 into 2040, correct? No, 2040 gone, 5 ones are 520, so it would take 20 years, right? So it would take 20 years for the same sum to double itself, right? In 20 years it would double itself. Great, I hope you understood this question, not a very difficult one. Okay, let's move on to the 8th problem. Okay, and should be pretty simple. I just picked it up from the NCERT textbook. Okay, and should be simple after the kind of problems we solved so far. Simple interest, I feel, is actually simple, right? In the next chapter we would be studying compound interest. How does simple interest differ from compound interest, and how you can apply them, right? In what scenarios you can apply them, we'll all learn, right? So that's good. All right, let's move on. If Meena gives an interest of rupees 45 for 1 year at 9% per annum, what is the sum she borrowed? Okay, what is the sum she has borrowed? All right, let's see. Now Meena gives an interest of rupees 45. So interest is rupees 45, okay, for 1 year, time period is 1 year. Rate of interest is 9% per annum, okay. What is the sum she has borrowed? So what is the sum she has borrowed? Okay, we need to find out what is the principal amount on which she is paying the interest of 45 rupees per year at 9% per annum, right? So simple. So interest we know is P into R into T by 100. Okay, interest we know is 45, P we know, R is 9, T is 1 and 100. So implies P is equal to 45 into 100 by 9 into 1, correct? No, so 9 ones are 9 fives are is equal to rupees 500. So she has borrowed 500 from someone, and for that she is paying an interest of 45 rupees at 9% per annum, right? And this is the thing, right? Sounds good. All right, and with this we come to our last problem. Okay, and in simple interest I had picked up few problems from different textbooks, right? So I picked up about 9 problems, and we are going to solve the 9th one. All right, okay. John lent rupees 2550 to Mohan at 7.5% interest per annum. Okay, if Mohan discharges the debt after 8 months by giving an old black and white television and rupees 1422.50, find the price of the television. Now this is the case, right? Sometimes you borrow money and eventually you don't have money, so you give something, some accessory like a black and white television or your car or something, right, to repay that. Very sad story, but I believe it's a old black and white television, so John is not going to miss much, or rather Mohan is not going to miss much, right? And I'm also sure John would find something useful to do with this black and white television. All right, let's move on then. Okay, so the 9th problem. So lent, so principal amount is 2550. Okay. Rate of interest is 7.5% per annum. Okay. 8 months. So time period is 8 months. We will convert this into years by saying 8 by 12 year is nothing but 4 2s are 4, 2/3 of a year. I hope you agreed, you understood how this came, right? If not, see, 8 months or rather 12 months is 1 year, correct, no? Now if 8 months is 12 year, 1 month, let's divide both sides. Now it's a case of direct variation. I hope you realize, right? Just see, it's a case of direct variation. Look at the variation chapter, go through it, you will understand, right? So if I divide both sides by 12, so this is 1 month is same as 1/12 of a year, correct? But what I want is 8 months is how many years? So I multiply both sides by 8. So 8 months, I multiplied this by 8 and I also multiply that by 8. 1 by 12 into 8, which is same as this, right? So 8 months is equal to 8 by 12 years. Okay, sounds good, no? You should understand why you are doing, right? So okay, this is good. We understood that it is 2/3 of a year. And what else do we know? So let's see, we know everything, right? So what would be the interest in this case? Interest payable at the end of 8 month would be P into R into T by 100. Okay. So what is P? 2550. R is 7.5. I can also write it as 15 by 2 into T is 2 by 3, correct? And 100 is here, right? I hope you understood how this came from this, right? P by 100 I can write into R is nothing but 7.5, which is nothing but 15 by 2, okay, into 2 by 3. So this gone, okay. 3 ones are 3 5s are, 5 ones are 5 20s are, this gone. So it is 255 by 2 is 127.5. So it is 127.5. Okay, sounds good. Is the interest. Now total amount payable, right? You have to see, when Mohan is settling his debt, he has to pay the principal plus the interest which has accrued, right, so far. So 2550 rupees, 2550 plus rupees 127.5, right? So how much this comes to? 2550 and 127.5, 57762, okay, 2677.5. okay, so this is correct. I hope it is correct. 776. okay, chalo, done. So this is the amount, but our friend Mohan does not pay this amount, but instead gives a television and 1422.5, right? So let's find out the cost of the television. All right. So he should have paid final settling amount, final settling amount should be equal to price of TV negotiated, right? Price of TV negotiated. So whatever they agreed, Mohan and John would have sat together and said, okay, this is what I am ready to buy your TV for. Okay, so that price plus rupees 1422.5, right? Therefore implies price of TV is equal to final settling amount was what? Final settling amount should be this amount, correct, no? This is what the amount is payable, 2677.5 minus 1422.5. So this would be like what? 1255 is the price of the TV. Okay, So he paid the final he settled the final amount of 2677.50 paise by giving the TV and 1422.5. Okay, so the price of the TV worked out to be 1255. All right. Okay. All right. So with that, we come to the end of this chapter, and I hope you learned quite a bit today. So please subscribe to my videos. Please pass on my videos to your friends so that they can also benefit, right? And if you like my video, please leave me a like and hit a bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you would be definitely informed. And children, take care, keep social distancing, and work hard. Don't let your studies suffer. Sit at home, watch videos, okay, and solve problems, so that even though your schools may not be up and running, definitely your learning is not impacted. Okay. All right. So till we meet next time, take care and God bless. Bye bye.